Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kishwar's Picks Week 15 edition. I know last week I did say I wasn't going to be late anymore and give out my videos on Tuesday nights. However, losing track of time with this whole moving thing, it's only been 2 weeks, so bear with me. I will be back on track next week starting Tuesday. Quick recap of Week 14. I went 14-2 last week, which is great. Only Buffalo Bills and Indianapolis Colts let me down. And the rest of the picks, I was spot on. I got to feel pretty good about that. The Jets looked like a bunch of miserable, no good pieces of human beings on earth for the first half. And then second half was a completely different team, and it was good to see that. Bryce Petty showed his mental toughness, and I was glad to see a Jet quarterback finally have a backbone after being down 17-3 at the half. That was a very it was a pleasant surprise for most of us Jet fans, especially to see Bilal Powell run like the way he did. I hope he's utilized more on the offense now. The defense showed up very late in the game, well, second half of the game. First half, they were nowhere to be found. I thought they were still in New York or sleepwalking in San Francisco. But thankfully, we found them in second half, and they actually turned it on. Marcus Gilchrist is done for the year. Brennan Giacomini is done for the year. Doesn't really matter because the season was already out of hand. So going forward, hopefully they'll get healthy and be back for 2017 season. With all that being said, let's jump into Week 15 picks. I cannot believe I'm seeing Week 15. Anyways, first game is tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football. We have the St. Louis Rams at Seattle Seahawks. I'm not making this up, but the line is Seattle by 16. This will be a blowout unless the Rams team that show up to play Seahawks every time they played the last couple of years actually put up a fight. Now, with that being said, do I expect that to happen? Absolutely not. Seattle got embarrassed last week against Green Bay. I'm sure the defense is ticked off and they want to take out all the frustration on the LA Rams. The 12s will be loud in CenturyLink. LA Rams just fired their head coach this week after allegedly signing him to a contract extension, and that went out the window. So I don't even know who's coaching for the Rams tomorrow night. I do expect the Seattle Seahawks to run all over this team and expect them to cover as well. Moving on to a new one, Saturday Night Football, and where we have the New York Jets hosting the Miami Dolphins. Now, Ryan Tannehill is not out for the year, according to the Dolphins, but he won't be starting on Saturday night. Matt Moore will be. And according to the stats, Matt Moore's last start was against the Jets in 2012, where he actually beat the Jets. And Todd Bowles was the interim coach of the Dolphins that year. With that being said, I do not expect the New York Jets to lose this game because last time they were on prime time, they got embarrassed. Woody Johnson remembers that game. I'm sure he reminds McCagnon and Bowles of the game every time they bump into each other now. This should not happen another primetime game in MetLife Stadium. Not sure what the capacity will be this time. Sorry, not sure what the attendance will be this time. Capacity is 82,000. Hopefully we'll have half of that filled out. But it's going to be wintry mix in New York this weekend, so I'm not sure how many people will actually turn up for the game. Bryce Petty, I hope he continues to make improvements on game and just keeps doing what he's been doing since second half of last week. And I picked the Jets to win this game simply because Matt Moore is starting after 4 years, and I'm not sure if the Dolphins will actually get up to play this because of that. Tannehill, if this was Tannehill starting, I would pick Dolphins to be the Jets easily, but because it's a backup quarterback, I'm going to give the Jets the edge over here. Moving on to Sunday's games, and the first game we have is Green Bay Packers at Chicago Bears. The Packers have turned it on finally. The defense has been showing up. I'm actually starting the Packers defense this week in fantasy in one of my championship games. So very excited about that. Looking forward to their defense intercepting Matt Barkley 5 times, just like they did Russell Wilson. Aaron Rodgers has been amazing. All year long he was good, but lately he's been ruthless. He just shreds defenses as it comes, and nothing has stopped him, and nothing will stop him, and the Bears will lose to the Packers. Moving on to Jacksonville Jaguars and Houston Texans. Brock Osweiler actually beat the Colts He actually swept the Colts this year. What a shocker. Then again, the Colts have their own issues, so I am not overly concerned here of them winning a game. However, they're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars this weekend, who is 2-10. Do not expect them to put up a fight. The Texans will win again. They have to win because the Tennessee Titans will challenge them for the division, and I still believe the Titans will make the playoffs by winning the AFC South. Moving on to Cleveland Browns at Buffalo Bills. According to multiple sources, Rex Ryan is actually coaching for his job. I'm pretty sure he'll make it through the season because I just don't see any point of firing a coach with 3 games left to play. He will not be back as a head coach for any team in NFL next year. He might be a coordinator somewhere. If not, he'll end up on TV. Bills still alive in the playoff hunt. Not sure if Tyrod Taylor and Sammy Watkins will connect because last week I expected them to go deep against the Steelers, but they got ran all over courtesy of Le'Veon Bell. So, do I expect them to win at home this week? Yes, only because they're playing the Cleveland Browns 0-13. No. Is it 0-14 now? That would be, no, 0-13. I was right. I'm sorry. The Browns. I can't keep a track of their losses. 0-13. Enough said. The Bills get this game at home. Moving on to Philadelphia Eagles at Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens coming off a very close defeat against the New England Patriots on Monday night. The Eagles, they just gave up on their season. 5-8. Their season is going nowhere. Carson Wentz did a lot of good things to open up the season, but lately he has not been that great, simply because he doesn't have all the help on offense. The Ravens, Joe Flacco, expect him to light it up against the Eagle defense, and the Ravens will win at home. Moving on to the Tennessee Titans, the team that I just praised a few minutes ago against the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium. You guys all know I don't usually pick a team that's traveling to Arrowhead, and that will be the case for this game as well. The Titans will lose on Sunday. The Chiefs are probably the best team in AFC. 10-3. I hope they somehow pull the number 1 seed out of the Patriots' hands and host all playoffs. I hope the road to Super Bowl for AFC goes through Arrowhead just to see if the Chiefs can actually make it for the first time in a while. Chiefs at home. Moving on to Detroit Lions at New York Giants. The Giants, I did pick them to win my upset last week. Thankfully, they pulled it off for me. The Lions, 9-4. Matthew Stafford will be wearing a glove for the rest of the season because he has a torn ligament in his throwing thumb, I believe. But I do not expect the Lions to beat the Giants at home. The Giants defense, the $200 million well spent on offseason. Their defense has been spot on. Their offense needs to click, and I'm pretty sure they'll start clicking. This team has the 2007-2012 Giants vibe. Sorry, 2011, I believe. Giants vibe, so they actually can make a run if they get into the playoffs as a wild card. Moving on to the Indianapolis Colts at Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings at home should be able to take down the Colts. Unfortunately, I don't think that will happen. Andrew Luck needs to keep pace with the division. I don't expect them to make the playoffs, but I believe in Andrew Luck, and I think he will actually do his part to make sure the Colts win, and I'm going to go with that. The Vikings with Sam Bradford clearly doesn't have an offensive line to protect him, although against the Colts defense that wouldn't be an issue, but I just don't think he can keep up with Andrew Luck when it comes to scoring. Moving on to Pittsburgh Steelers at Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are 5-7-1, and the Steelers are in position to win the AFC North. I expect them to beat them handily. The Steelers' offense is clicking just at the right time, and it will continue to do so. Moving on to the New Orleans Saints at Arizona Cardinals. Start of 4 o'clock games. Cardinals at home will be a tough team to beat. News came from Arizona today. Michael Floyd has been has been released from the team due to DUI charges. That team had just when I think the Jets had a bad season, I think of the Cardinals and Panthers. Their season went to nowhere. So that actually makes me feel a little better as a Jet fan. Cardinals will beat the Saints only because the Saints do not travel well outside the Superdome. Moving on to San Francisco 49ers and Atlanta Falcons. I'm not sure why this is a 4 o'clock game. The Falcons will run all over the Niners. They actually looked pretty good in the first half against the Jets last week, but thankfully the Jets actually showed up and turned that down. The 49ers will get embarrassed at Atlanta in the Georgia Dome. Moving on to New England Patriots at Denver Broncos. Usually I would pick the Broncos in Mile High to beat the Patriots simply because Tom Brady cannot play for some odd reason in that stadium. But Trevor Siemian just cannot do anything on offense. For some awful reason, he fell off. He fell off from a cliff midseason, and I don't see them doing any better against the Patriots. Usually the defense will keep Brady in check. It'll be a low-scoring game, but I still think the Patriots will win this game. Moving on to Oakland Raiders at San Diego Chargers. Raiders coming off a tough loss against the Chiefs. Chargers, I'm pretty sure they're done 5-8. They got embarrassed by the Panthers for the first 3 quarters last week, although they came back, rallied back, but they still lost the game. Feel bad for Rivers, but that's been his issue since the last time they made the AFC title game. The Raiders will bounce back and beat the Chargers. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Good to see Jameis Winston finally make a primetime presence. I'm pretty sure he played Monday night last year, but I think it's the first Sunday night game in his career. Against the Dallas Cowboys. Do not expect the Dallas Cowboys to lose 2 weeks in a row. They will be ready to play at home. Jason Garrett has done an excellent job of coaching this year. Gotta give him props for holding the season together for them. At 11-2, they're well seated for the number 1 seed in NFC. I expect Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott to bounce back and beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and end their streak. And then we have Monday Night Football. We have the Carolina Panthers at Washington Redskins. The Panthers season is pretty much over. The Redskins will probably get the number 6 seed in the NFC. They have a very good offense. Their defense needs to show up. Ryan Kerrigan cannot be the only one shutting down the opposition each week. They need help from Bashad Breeland, Josh Norman, and all of the defense. The offense, Kirk Cousins has been very underrated all year long. He has been lights out, and I expect him to light it up against the Panthers defense. That's the picks for Week 15. Now let's go with our upset of the week, and we will go with, let's see, what do we have here? Let's go with Colts to upset the Vikings, since the Vikings are favored at home by 4.5. So Colts as the upset, and the lock of the week is without a doubt the Atlanta Falcons to dismantle San Francisco 49ers at home. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you with Week 16 picks next week on Tuesday night. Like, subscribe, of course leave a comment. Thank you.